Hello and welcome back to the 10th Pint Podcast. We're here with me, Lucas, Normal and Beefham.
Right, lads.
This episode is sponsored by Celestial Clothing, and as you can see, lovely
Sounds
top,
in it,
lovely hoodie and a lovely top, so you get over to their Instagram. But today we're here with Spin. How are we, boys?
Sound, yeah. Thanks for having us on. Very happy to be here.
Yeah, all good. So we normally get started off with, like, how do you sort of get into music?
I always like loved music when I was a kid, type of thing. I know probably everyone says that, but it's my earliest memories is like running around the garden when my dad had barbecues and stuff, listening to like Stone Roses, Cast, all that jangly guitar sound sticks with you, and then eventually as you grow up you kind of expand your taste. I got into the Smiths and I was like, right, I've got to start a band here, otherwise I'm doing nothing else. So I started doing that, and then yeah, it was just like earliest memories are always music related, so I just always wanted to do it from a young age.
Yeah, same for me really. I remember my first CD I bought when I was about, 11 or 12. I was in HMV with my dad and I seen Abbey Road and I was like, oh, that's such a cool cover. And I was like, just, so happens to be the Beatles as well. So yeah, that was my first memory of the music really.
What?
Sorry.
Well, I say, what age did you just first pick up a guitar then?
I must have been, I think, there was this girl I liked in school, so obviously I was like, I got to impress her. There was a party coming up and I was like, I've got to learn something. I think I learned something really bad, like
Wonderwall, was it?
No, it was worse. It was like, is it you're beautiful, it's true.
Oh, mate, that's
and
terrible.
she didn't even listen to it, and I just played it, and I've never lived it down since. Like, people always tell me for it. It's been years. Yeah. So yeah, 15, and then I learned all the Beatles songs because my mate lent me the Beatles anthology, and I just sat there learning them all, and then started writing my own stuff. But
Yeah, for me, I think it's just a bit after. I was about 16 and I was in school, and in sixth form, and our school had like a really cool like music department, and obviously went in, seen all the guitars and that. I was like, oh, I really want to play, but I was left-handed. Well, I am left-handed, and they're all right-handed. So I was like, for God's sake! So I had to go out and buy like this crap, like left-handed, like SG for like £100, and I brought it into school, and it felt really good. But yeah, I was about 16, I think. Yeah.
So did you two like meet in school and that then?
Nah, so basically, we the first time I met Sean, it was in Urban Outfitters, which is like the most like indie band story ever. But he was with our old guitarist Andy, and I knew Andy. He used to go to our school and moved to his one. And
I hate the story. I know where it's going.
So I was like chatting with Andy. I hadn't seen him in years, and then the next thing you know, this mad kid with curly hair just runs past and goes, "Who's that?" About me, and he goes, "What are you talking to him for?" To Andy, and he was proper rude to me. And he's like, "We're gonna miss the bus," and I was like, "You right, mate?" And he just snarled me and walked down.
I have no recollection of this, by the way.
So rude. It was a miracle that we got to this point, because I hated you for like a good year until I met you properly.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. I hope you like me now.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Okay.
How did you go from that to then like being in a band together then?
So basically, like as you said, he used to go to school with Andy, and Andy came to my school for sixth form, and that's how I got jamming really with him in the first year when we were like 16. So we were just in the music department in our breaks and that, learning like Beatles songs and Smith songs and that. And after about a few months, we were like, oh, we need a singer because none of us are good at singing. And then
You got someone who can't sing to join the band.
we got Johnny who can't sing, and yeah. But yeah, maybe after a few months practicing like Vulcan down in town, we decided we should probably do a band and that. Yeah, got a few gigs in.
Yeah, we were a mod band when we started. It was embarrassing. Yeah. We used to wear like suits and stuff.
Fred Perry's and that, yeah.
Oh no,
we used to just love the jam and stuff like that. Like wearing our like Fred Perry's, and I think we were dead cool.
We was always called Spin.
We got the name Spin from like we were like trying to come up with like a 60s sounding name, and we just couldn't think of one. So like I just googled like a random word, and the Spinning Tops came up. I think it was just like word generated, and Spinning Top came up, and I was like, that sounds like it could be like a band that were on like the Mersey beat scene, in the 60s. And anyway, we started writing indie tunes, but we were like dressed in suits, and it was like, this isn't working. Like, we look like Muppets here, so we've got to try and get an indie sounding name. And at that point, bands like Peace and Jaws were like dominating like the indie scene around the UK. So like one syllable, get rid of the ing tops. We're called Spin, and that's the story.
At the two ends, just to be extra cool.
We kept the end though.
What was the first gig you ever played?
It was probably the Zanzibar, weren't it?
It was with
the Bohos, which are now called Stone.
Oh yeah, we've had them on.
I listened to that one the other day. Actually, it was good.
That is right.
Yeah, it was with the Bohos at the Zanzibar, and like
2015.
they brought loads of people down, and they were all from our school. I was like, because I went to school with Finn, he was here beneath us, so everyone from school was there. I weren't expecting it, and we were wearing suits in the Zanzibar. Done a cover of this. There's a video of it somewhere on our Facebook, I think, from years ago. This charming man and eating rifles. One original, and there was something else. I can't remember what it was though.
I think it was like a Cure song or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Friday, I'm in love.
That's the one,
That's
isn't
it.
it?
You're gonna have to get the suits back out, you know. That'd be funny, mate.
I thought maybe for a video one day.
Yeah, just try and be the Beatles or
So we're
something.
invited to the Brits. I think the suits are going to stay in the cupboard.
Who writes the songs?
Us two together. So
Yeah, it depends really. Like obviously, like when Andy was in the band, you know, all of us like we kind of play guitar or bass. We'd like come up with an idea, and then Johnny would normally finish off the vocals to it. But now, obviously, like moving forward, like it's kind of just been like me and Johnny doing bits and bobs, and our new guitarist Luke as well. He's chipped in a few ideas too.
yeah,
But yeah, Johnny does all the.
I
lyrics and
write
stuff.
all the lyrics, and then like in this next album coming up, I think we've written half of the instrumentals each, plus what Luke's written. So it's all right. It's a good combination because I was in a band when I was about 15 before I joined these, and it was us, and it was yeah, it was just me writing basically, and I think I got about 2 songs done in like the year I was in the band for, type of thing. But yeah, it's very, very useful to have different people writing.
What's like the process of like? Does it just come to you, or do you like just sit down? Like, how do you go about it?
I usually, so I've just got this little nylon string guitar in my mum's house, and I just sit there and just pick on strings and try and come up with little like rhymes to go with it. Just like something I think would look good on some like Twitter girl's bio, basically. That's how you get spin lyrics, basically. So yeah, I just sit there, write a little poem that's a bit soppy, and write some chords, and then the big man puts the production on, and it all comes together. Yeah, that's it, really.
Do you know, in terms of songs which you've released, which one was like wrote earliest, like at the youngest sort of age?
Green Eyes. I don't know if you know it. It's on the first album. It was actually, we released it originally when we were about 17, and it's kind of flopped. But I wrote that when I was 15, like the week after my grandma died. It's kind of about that. It's very jaded, and I think it's a bit like immature now looking back at it. But yeah, that song I wrote when I was 15, and probably Bliss.
Yeah.
That one as well. They were all written within like a kind of year of each other.
Yeah, it's kind of the first batch of songs we came up with, like when we were doing our like first sets and that around Liverpool. Yeah, they've been with us a while. So
Notice Me was derived from this song called Last Reserve. Do you remember that one?
oh, that was that was a shite song.
It was
That.
so bad. It was like we were trying to, I don't know what we were trying to do, but like I think
Well, you didn't, I remember that because like, I think you had like a mate in a band called Last Reserves, and you were like, oh, like we have to write a song because like you promised them we'd write a song with their band name as the title,
I don't know why I promised that, and yeah, we did.
and we ended up just sacking it off and kind of taking elements of the guitar and that for the new song.
Yeah.
And it worked out really well in the end, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, it went viral in Argentina, so it's as well as the song can go, you know. Yeah, it was mad. That good times.
Do you know, like a song like Is There Something That I Missed? Like that's probably your most known, would you say?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Do you know when you wrote that, did you just think, oh, like, we're onto something here? Like,
I remember we wrote that, and then we played it. We were playing a gig with Parish Youth Foundation in the Cavern, and like we played it, and I was like, "This is rubbish. These are gonna they're a crap band we're playing with." And they were like, "Lad, that's so good." And I was like, "What? Like this is like the worst song we've written." And then obviously it turned out everyone really likes that one. So you know,
So do you still not like that song?
it's still a bit of a grey area for me. It's like I know it is a good song now looking back, but like.
Yeah.
I
like it,
never
mate,
think
yeah.
of it when I think of our songs. It's always like I always go, oh yeah, and that one, you know, it's weird.
I think for me, when we like recorded the album, I thought it didn't really stick out as the one that would be like probably one of the most popular ones. I think for me, it would be more like Bliss or Notice Me because they're a bit more like upbeat, and you can imagine people, you know, losing the shit to it. But yeah, I'm glad people like it. You know what I mean? It'll probably still be in the sets for a long time to come.
Yeah, I hope so.
what would you both say your favourite song is which you've released?
I like July at a Glance just because it's about my bed, and I get soppy when I listen to it. And it's
Get you a few brownie points though.
yeah.
She's listening in, Rachel.
It's quite easy to play when I'm bevied at parties. If someone asks for a spin song, it's like only like 4 chords. I'm like, oh hey, there you go. Yeah, I love that one. I think it's my favourite lyrics as well so far.
For me, it's probably it's either It's Not Getting Better, which is like a single we released just before the album, or I like Foundations as well off the album because it's really good live. People kind of just lose it in like the kind of breakdown bit at the end.
I love the There's a video of us playing that at Redden and Leeds, And it's
Yeah.
just the top comments, some guy going, "Shut up, Tory Ian Kerr." He's so fuming about it. It's like,
That's quality,
and
like, you know.
I think I had my Labour membership card in my pocket when we played that gig as well.
It's mad, isn't it? Because like,
Those
Ian,
pesky YouTube comments.
wasn't Ian Curtis like an actual Tory as well?
Yeah, he was. So like,
Which-
yeah,
Was he, yeah?
yeah,
Yeah.
apparently. Well, he voted for Thatcher by all accounts. So
Yeah.
You wrote it for Thatcher?
apparently voted for her, yeah.
Oh, if he wrote it like a
No,
song.
no,
Yeah.
She's lost control of I don't know, the country. I don't know. It's got a really bad pun there.
I reckon Stuck on a Feelings, boss, which you've released. You yet to play that live to anyone, yeah?
We played it. We've only played it like once, haven't
We
we?
played it on the last album, or the album tour we did just before lockdown. And like, I think we hadn't released it at that time. It was a bit different because we hadn't recorded it, but yeah, it really went off live, that one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How have you found, like, you've released 3 songs, am I right in saying that, sure, and like, this, like, lockdown, COVID, you found
Yeah.
that, like,
Yeah.
mad?
It's been proper weird because usually you can tell if people actually like the tunes when you go out and play them, but we haven't played in nearly 2 years now, basically. So it's like people tweet us and say they like the tunes, but like I'm worried when we get out in person, people are gonna be like, "Oh, hang on, that's not as good as it was on Spotify." But yeah, it's been all right. Weirdly, the songs have still done quite well, type of thing. Like I think
When we
what's the
released,
last one thing she says to me, that one is about to hit 10k and it's only been out for like a week, so that's
Good, that, like.
yeah, it's good going so far. Hopefully it'll keep building.
yeah, with this EP as well, like it's a 3-track EP and we've got one more song to release. Each song's very different, and yeah, I'm just really excited to release, to be honest, because it kind of shows like 3 different sides of Spin. Like
Yeah.
the kind of like indie stuff, like we're probably quite well known for, and then things she says especially is kind of like a nod to all our like Scouse influences, like the Lars and stuff like that. It's very different to like Billy,
Yeah.
we released before.
Billy's I'd probably say I like Billy the most out this EP. It's just like
Yeah.
Dunno.
Christy as
Yeah,
well, who sings on
yeah,
it,
she
did a
was
really
great.
good job.
Christy from Yumizuma. Shout out. Nice one for appearing. I won't look at the camera again.
You take like a lot of inspiration from the Lars and Cast and Shaq, them type of bands.
Yeah, I love all that. Like we had a proper massive phase with them. We were writing loads of tunes like that. But what happens is like when you write an album, like tunes, basically, you just have to kind of put them on the chopping block if they're not good enough. But we had loads of stuff that was dead influenced by them. Basically, the thing she says to me is very similar chord progression. Do you know Fishing Net by the Lars? It's like this mad. It's only on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm on it, mate.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that song so much, and it's very similar chords to that. So I was obsessed with it. It's probably one of my favorite songs ever. But yeah, like I personally really like the kind of acoustic jangly side that they had. You know, like all them bands, and like the lyrics as well. Always like quite simple.
All the harmonies as
powerful.
well.
Yeah. So yeah, the answer is yeah.
The answer is yeah.
Where was your latest EP recorded?
It was basically what happened was we done the album in Park Street in town, and then we just wanted a bit of change of scenery, so we done the EP like down in
It was
Leeds?
the Nave in Leeds, which is a kind of like converted church. It's a really good studio, and yeah, we did 3 tracks there, but we're actually we're in the process of recording the rest of the album in Park Street again.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit of a mix, really.
back in the USS Par.
Can you say when the next song will be released for the EP?
For the EP,
Next month, isn't it?
that's next month. We're just doing one a month, and then we're touring for. Well, we've got loads of shows lined up in the summer. I think obviously bigger one with Circle Waves is that going to be the highlight,
Yeah.
and then
Is that at Mountford Hall? Yeah.
can't wait for that. You know, it's going to be mad. Like I loved Circle Waves when we first like started as well, so proper can't wait for it. But yeah, we're going to do that and then get recording. I'm sure some album stuff will be out by like.
Well, I think we're just going to like...
I'm not putting a timeline on in case it doesn't happen.
We'll probably just drop a couple of singles over the summer, really, and then see how it goes. But I think we're hoping to release the album in like November to like
Yeah.
coincide with the tour. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully the tour goes ahead with like full capacities and that though.
Fingers crossed, innit?
Yeah, well, that's it. If we don't sell enough tickets, I'll say it's like socially distanced. We have to cut it off, but yeah, hopefully
Yeah.
it does. Yeah.
Our Mars at the front screen.
Yeah. You were saying like it's called the O2 Academy because we're gonna walk out on stage and go, oh, 2 people, just our 2 mums like rocking out in the front row.
I might be chatting shit like, but have you doing a socially distanced show?
We were gonna do it, and it basically it was selling really well. Like we sold half of it out in a week, and then it was like we got offered the O2 Academy for later in the year, and we're like, it might affect ticket sales, so we
Yeah.
just had to swerve it off in the end, sadly. But
Well, it got cancelled, and then we got the option to like reschedule it a bit later in the year, but like it just didn't make sense because obviously, as Johnny just said, like we want to just make sure the O2 sells out. Like
Yeah,
that'll be
yeah.
boss, like on paper, looking like going forward. So maybe next year we could like play somewhere bigger. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, that's the thing. It's like, that's why, because we were meant to do that. And that's why we haven't played a gig in so long. Basically, the last show we played as a full band was like December 2019. And then like we were meant to be playing, what month was that?
I think it was like, it was like what was it? Was it February?
Last February.
Which one? What?
The show, the socially distanced one.
I don't know. I
think-
don't know when that was meant to be, but it was bad because like I don't know, it got we scheduled it like when the first we were coming out with the first lockdown, and they started doing like different like socially distanced gigs, but like when ours happened, we went back into lockdown.
Yeah.
We just couldn't really do it.
Spin all over.
So you
that,
haven't played as a band all together since December 2019.
Yeah, we,
Yeah.
not,
That's
not
ridiculous,
in
that
front
as
of a
well.
live crowd.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Not
So,
like you haven't seen each other.
yeah. We've been
Yeah.
practicing and that, but yeah,
Yeah.
December 2019, O2 Academy, and then we played 2 days later at the Ritz supporting Slow Readers Club, and Sean had a panic attack on stage, so we just had to do an acoustic set.
Yeah.
So selfish of you, lad.
I know. I'm sorry, guys.
That
For
was
the
a
panic
joke.
attack. No, it's fine. I just drank too many cans of Coke.
Caffeinated up, but yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, the show was just me and Andy playing an acoustic set.
It went down well though. To be fair, people seem to like it.
Yeah, it was just proper heavy. I felt awful for you. Like you
No, I know.
were gutted, man. He was like backstage, like apologising, like it was his fault. You know what I mean? It's just like,
I think these things happen to everyone, though, don't they? I
Yeah.
mean, hopefully,
Yeah,
I'll be sound.
That
going
must be
forward.
hard though, do you know, the pressure of like being in front of that many people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I get proper nervous before like meeting people here. Like do you know,
Mm.
before
Stay
today
on
meeting
them.
you, like I can't imagine what it's like going out on stage. Like let's say like the Ritz, that's like a few
Yeah.
thousand, isn't it?
Yeah, how many is it there?
I think it's at least 1,800. Yeah,
Yeah,
Maybe
like
about
that.
2,000.
I'd shit
It was
myself.
basically,
there.
I know, it was basically full as well, wasn't it?
Mm.
So it was just like, it was rough.
Yeah, we came. I remember we came on. We played the first song, and halfway through, I was like, I don't feel good, and I just went to Johnny. I need to go, and I just legged it out the back, and I was kind of just like, crouched down.
Throwing
like,
up into the canal in the back.
that didn't happen. I didn't throw up.
Oh, I thought you did.
No,
I wouldn't try.
we'll
and
tell the
embarrass you like
podcast people I didn't throw up.
What's your favourite venue to play? Like in Liverpool and anywhere else?
I like King Tut's in Glasgow. It's like based purely because it is a great like venue. Obviously Oasis was signed there, not that historic. Got cool steps with like the names of everyone who's played there. But they do this thing called like chili con haggis, which is like haggis chili con carne, and it's like I was like, I've got to try that, and I thought it would be disgusting, and believe me, it's the tastiest thing you're ever going to eat in the world. But yeah, and it also goes off there, so yeah, up King Tut's. But in Liverpool,
I like the Arctic Theatre, me.
yeah,
I just think it looks really cool inside, like all the kind of, like the
it's
the
like the
architecture and stuff.
Mr. Brightside video, it's like that, like
Yeah.
regal, you know what I mean? Yeah, I love it there. But that obviously the O2 Academy. Once you played there, you can say you played there, so you can say it's your favourite venue. So yeah, made up with that.
Would you say that was like the best it's got so far? Like you've played that before, haven't you? Sold out the O2.
Yeah, we sold out the big room and the small room, but it was my favourite. Honestly, actually thinking back, one of my favourite gigs ever was the Deaf Institute in Manchester. There's only 250 in there, but like it absolutely went off, and it was like the maddest. Do you remember that gig?
I do, yeah.
It was insane.
It was the second to last one on the tour, so we played Manchester and then
Yeah.
the day after Liverpool, so it was like 2 really good gigs in a row. And a couple of our mates came down for it, so it was just like a party for 2 days. It was great.
Yeah, we had Monks on with us, and it was just like a load of Scousers rocking out with the cock out in Manchester. And it was fucking made up. It was boss. Really loved it.
Some people say they're better, don't they? Like the smaller venues. Say if you've got 2,000 people, more likely the 250 people, that venue, everyone's proper into you and
Yeah.
that.
No,
You know what I mean?
I completely agree. Like the big shows are great. It's like you're like, oh my god, this is like happening type of thing. But the small shows when you're playing, to like you can see everyone in the room, you see everyone's made up. Just like you can see the sweat dripping off them. That's like what it's about for me. You like, it's like it feels like a proper shared experience. Like the sweatiest gigs where they come off with like heartburn and like me hair slicked back just with pure sweat. They're like the best gigs ever. Like, but can't complain when you're playing huge shows in front of loads of people, because that's also boss. It's just a different like buzz type of thing.
Have you just played Korea? Am I right in saying that?
Japan.
Japan, yeah.
Japan.
Yeah, that was amazing. We sold out a gig in Japan, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's mad, that.
I know it was proper weird. I remember before we went, I didn't know anyone would come and see us, and there was like a bit of a queue, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then we went to the supermarket. Me and Louis were looking at like the ice creams in a freezer, and like this like Japanese girl comes up and goes, "You're Spin, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah." And she's like,
In the Scouse accent.
I was like, "Oh, that's the nicest one." And picked up like this bubblegum ice cream for me. And it was like the heaviest thing ever. It was like fizzy.
You pay for it for you?
No, was it? it was. I thought it was quite cheap in Japan anyway. Otherwise, I would have asked it to. But yeah, it was nice.
Was that like a festival or just?
We done a festival and then our own headline show, and yeah, it was.
What
really
city
cool.
was it in?
Just Tokyo, but like
Yeah.
Tokyo's that big. It's like
Yeah.
I thought I knew Tokyo. Because it's like, you know, when you go to like places like Manchester, you know, a little area, like, oh, I know this bit.
Yeah.
And then I looked at it on the map when we got home and zoomed out, and it just went on for like 50 kilometers in each direction. I was like, nah, I don't know anything about Tokyo at all.
What are the crowds like over there? Because like I'm quite into like boxing and stuff, but the crowds are quite like, I don't know, quiet, respectful in
Yeah,
that.
100%. Like they're like that with
It's not like over here.
No, so I remember I was speaking in between the like songs, and usually people are just shouting stuff at you and cheering. They're all like dead quiet. And then I stopped speaking, and everyone started clapping like I'd just given a speech or something. I was like, proper weird. But yeah, it was amazing. Like the crowds are really nice. Like they queue up at the end of the show. You know, when you go to like a merch table in like Manchester, everyone's like, hey, and trying to jump on top.
Yeah.
You made like a proper orderly queue. Everyone was bowing and like saying how much he loved the band. It was proper surreal.
They gave us some gifts as well, didn't they? We got like these like really nice like cards and cakes and that. Like it was so nice.
Sound, man.
Yeah, they waited outside, a couple of fans, for like 2 hours. We didn't know they were out there. And like just as we were leaving, they like shouted us, and like they were waiting outside with like big box full of sweets and cakes and stuff like that. Yeah, but Louis was vegan, so I just got like I got to eat all the sweets and cakes. The boss. I'm gonna have that water. I'm a fiend for water when I get an interview.
You mentioned like Reading and Leeds before. Do you know in terms of like festivals, what ones have you done?
Done Truck Festival.
Yeah,
That was
fantastic,
really
that.
cool. We've done
Where's
Sound
that?
City a couple of times in
Yeah.
town. Both times have been great.
It's
Yeah.
in Oxford.
Oh,
so,
is it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just find it like outdoor compared to like indoor venues.
It's weird.
Depends if it's raining.
It was great at Reading and Leeds. Like I was kind of just vibing out in the sunshine, dancing, watching Charlie XCX on the main stage in the distance. Like I've been dizzy thinking about notice me. You know, it was a mad. Yeah, it's great though. It's proper weird because when you play in like a venue, you can't see the edge of the crowd. You can just see like the people on the walls.
Mm.
So you're like, hang on, why is it stopped there? Like the crowd type of thing. But yeah, it's a very different experience. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, like I prefer outdoors, I'd say, just because like you can see all like the crowd, and you'll end up picking out one of your mates or something. But at the same time, like as soon as you like make eye contact with someone, you know, you're like, it just throws you off because like you'll just see me, I'll just see me mate over there like going like that with a can of ale, like come and get pissed with us after. And it's like, oh, I'm playing half an hour, mate.
You're looking at your watch. Like,
yeah, it's when's it time to drink. Nah, it's funny though.
What's like the dream festival? Obviously, everyone says Glastonbury, but maybe apart from that.
I'd say either Glastonbury or
Primavera would be a
Primavera,
laugh,
yeah.
yeah. We're both going next year, so the lineup came out today.
Spain, yeah.
Yeah, Barcelona. We play Barca as well. It's an amazing city. Boss crowd, so hopefully we can get back over and play the festival over there. Cause
boss lineup.
yeah, the lineup's just unreal, and if you're on that, you know you've done something right.
Yeah.
You know.
It's the Strokes, isn't it? And Tame Impala next year there. Yeah,
Yeah,
I seen that
what's that
today.
like?
Who else is on Pavements?
Who else?
Gorillas are playing.
Gorillaz
Tyler,
are
the
playing,
creator.
yeah.
It's gonna be sick. Like, and then our hero. Don't know if you're onto this guy, Alex Cameron. He's like this Australian fella, and he like wears like a vest on stage and like acts dead sleazy. It's like a character, and he just writes really boss like synth pop music, and he's playing like a little stage made up. He's playing like the Weekend right there. I was like, get in, like can't even see his name on the poster, but I looked for him and he was there, so made up.
I'm just gonna lose our shit to that.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. He walks on stage and he's got like this like cool saxophone player called Roy Malloy, and he's got like mad long hair and a beard. He also wears like a vest.
Vests are their things.
Yeah, and he's like, this is my business associate, and he shakes hands with him when he goes on stage. I just think it's so funny.
Had that.
Yeah,
Must be mad going to a different country though, and they know your songs, isn't it?
yeah, it's proper weird. Like when they singing it, like Spanish kids singing "Notice Me" and like jumping up
Yeah.
and down. It's like the maddest feeling. It's just like, I don't know. You kind of appreciate how because like music, I think like obviously not to quote Arctic Monkeys, but like Teddy Pickers, just about how random it is. Like the amount of bands we played with over the years who were probably better than us, and then we're the ones who ended up, being able to go to different places around the world and have people like our tunes. You just feel lucky ultimately, like when you go to them places and you see that type of thing.
What's the most like bizarre fun experience you've had with anyone?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple.
There was this. Remember them ones in Bristol? You jumped in the van.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
You were like, "Can you give us a lift back to back to our place?" And we were like, "Yeah, sound." And they were like, "It's on the way to where you're going." And they just drank all our ale in the back of the van.
Yeah, and they just jumped out. Yeah,
and threw up absolutely everywhere. And like our tour manager went mental at us. I'm trying to think, we've got better ones than that, but my nerves are shot being on the podcast. But in fact, the one mad one. Literally, when we were the Spinning Tops, there was a girl, Jane, I think her name was. Do you remember her?
Mm.
And like we'd been around, played the show. She came to the first show, and 2 weeks later, we played the Zanzibar again, and she had a tattoo of like Green Eyes, our song, which is like weren't even out at that point. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I got my tattoo," and that was like the maddest thing, because that was like completely blew my head off more than anything ever has, because like that was already up there. Everything else was like, yeah, that's kind of weird.
What did you say to her?
I was just like, I was just like, oh, that's boss, that is right. Kind of thing.
Yeah, your parents must hate us.
You're not allowed to listen to us anymore, type thing. But yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. Have you got any cool stories, Sean? It feels like it's.
I'm trying to think of like I can't really think of fan stories, but I can think of like funny stories if we want to go down that direction.
Go on.
I just remember that time when we. No, I won't go into too much into detail, but remember the Edinburgh gig?
Which one?
The Edinburgh gig.
Oh no! When we went to that party,
We had to went to some like mad party, and it was our first tour, so like I don't know, we kind of just went a bit mad. Like we've learned from that now. We're like, we're sensible on tour now. We don't really drink anymore, but we kind of just went a bit mad. And I think we were playing Glasgow the next day, and I think we stayed up till about 11, didn't we?
Yeah,
we had no sleep.
Yeah, lots of fizzy drinks that night.
Lots of fizzy drinks and ales, and then that's it really.
Yeah, that's so rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
That's the thing. I was worried that you'd ask a question like this, because we're like the least rock and roll band. Yeah. Literally, like.
Okay, surely there's some more stories. I'll keep thinking.
Don't do any drugs. I drink a lot, but like, literally, I don't even smoke a joint anymore. It's just depressing. It's just like me drinking water and writing songs about my bed. That's what Spin's all about. Really.
You threw up off stage, didn't you? Onto Sefton Park.
I threw up twice on stage now. It's becoming a bit of a
we played Yonta Limp in Sefton Park.
Oh my god.
It's a funny story.
Looking back, I just remember it. The pain keeps me. It literally keeps me up when I.
Yeah, like his stomach was just bubbling away before the set, and we were like, "Oh no, he's gonna end up not playing."
We were in Kelly's the night before, and they were trying to get rid of some beer, and it's like £1 a pint. So I was like, "Fucking yeah, I'll have 8."
Probably off.
Yeah, it definitely was.
I mean, we're just halfway through the set, and I'm just looking at him. He's like, he's not doing too good, him. And then he just legs it off stage, and like I have to try and make awkward small talk with the crowd while he's off.
it was going out one way or the other. It was either going up the top or the bottom. So I'm glad I threw it off and didn't shit myself in front of 700 people.
Is that hard talking to the crowd? Like, you're thinking about, I'm going to say this after the song, or is it just like...
I don't know what I say. When I just kind of just falls out my mouth. Usually I get told off at the end of the show by our drummer for just chatting shit or offending someone in the audience. There's this horrible video of me. I get like dead nervous. This girl goes, can you play Flowers? And I was like, we don't have a song called Flowers. I think you're talking about Shallow. I was like, dead rude to it. I was like, the fucking hell, is that what I'm like on stage? But yeah, it's just kind of subconscious. Like when, at least for me anyway, when I'm on stage, it kind of just switches off until I'm off the stage. And even after then, it takes me like 15 minutes. Like, calm down. I remember the first time I got that feeling. We were playing the Magnet. And like, it was literally, we went on. It was just like a blink in the eye. And the next thing you know, I was like proper calming down in the backstage. I could hear people still singing the songs outside, and it was just like best feeling ever. It is sick being in a band, like, I do love it so much.
What's on your rider?
We used to get loads of ale, but like I think our tour manager and Louis, our drummer, figured out we just got too drunk, so they just started getting us crisps,
biscuits and loads of cans of Coke.
That's it. Packets of cheese. I've started asking for Yorkshire tea specifically because I won't drink anything else.
There's this when we were recording in Leeds, there was this like restaurant, this takeaway called Moggs,
Shout out Moggs.
and it was like just like this vegan gap, obviously, because like 2 of our members are vegan and like we'll just eat whatever. So we went to this place and we got like burgers and that. It was proper nice. So we've said now, like when we go to Leeds from now on, we're just gonna ask for Moggs on the
On the
rider. Yeah. So, yeah.
What else is there on the rider? I think there's some ham, but I don't really like ham. I don't know why it's on there. Packets of ham. It's
It's a
disgusting.
bit sweaty, isn't it?
Yeah, don't like it. It's the orange stuff around the side of ham. Puts me off it.
Breadcrumbs.
Yeah, but what bread's orange? That's the thing. Like, it's freaky business.
Say if you're hard drunk when you play, do you reckon it does affect you?
100%.
Your performance?
Yeah, like we realised that it was like
First tour
we
again.
get too sloppy,
just a
and
bit
we'd just be
mad.
absolutely terrible. So now we're like try and have maybe 2 beers, like just like we do. Depends on the show. Sometimes we get like they just give you a couple of bottles of Budweiser or like Red Stripe or something. But if you drink too many, especially me, 'cause I dance on the stage, like I'll be like out of breath, big fat belly on me, all bloated. Like it's no good. Like you've got to be on top of your game when you're on stage. Otherwise, like what's the point in doing it? That's the thing. It's like it took a while for us to realise like if you want to do it seriously, you've got to be professional about it. And you can't get drunk or stoned or whatever before you go on stage, because we done that once as well, and that was fucking all over the place. You do that after once you finish the show. Go mental.
It works with some bands though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like Oasis of the world, even the Beatles to an extent. Like
Well, the Beatles, they used to take the dieting pills, didn't they? You know, in Hamburg.
yeah.
To sell these dieting pills to like German housewives, and like it was basically just pure speed. And like the Beatles just figured that out and like popped 5 before going on stage, and you play for 16 hours. Yeah, I love the Beatles, man. My favourite band ever.
Do you reckon ask a few questions from our Instagram and that?
Yeah.
Did you get? I was worried no one would ask.
Yeah. So this one's from Tom Godsman. Pick one band in the world you dream of supporting. It can be from any era.
Sean, you go first.
Probably just, I don't know, it's a bit of a lame one, but I do like Wild Nothing, just because they're like my biggest influence, like new influence. Like they're not like massive here. Like I saw them in Manchester, and I don't know, I think they did about 250 tickets or something, but like just to kind of speak to them as a band and just see like what they're about, that would just be boss. Yeah, that's for me.
I was like growing up between like 15 and 19, the biggest Smiths fan in the entire universe. So if I could go to the 80s and support the Smiths and then sell millions of records, that would be boss. But yeah, Wild Nothing again would be great. Or like Beach Fossils.
Beach Fossils again, yeah.
I
Really
did
good.
just say the Beatles, my favourite band ever, but I wouldn't want to play before them because we'd look absolutely shit when they went on after us. But yeah, Beach Fossils or Wild Nothing, realistically speaking.
This question I don't really agree with. Like, match 11, I'll just sleep at night being a blue. That's for Johnny. Or we're both blues ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how we sleep at night half the time, to be honest.
I was going to say peacefully, but it's definitely not. It's usually with a frown on my face is what I'd
Used
say.
to it by now.
Yeah, literally. I think I get used to Everton, and then they somehow let me down in a new and more depressing
Out
way.
Everton, don't
Yeah,
they?
every single time. He's a blue as well. Like
Yeah.
talking to his first game, he hadn't been to one. Obviously, City at home, he fucking spanked us.
That's bad.
That's saying
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
too, like.
Just had the spare tickets. I think my brother bottled out of it because he knew it was going to be a horrible day. Like,
Nah, you think you've found every way of like doing in your day, Everton, and
I
then they
know.
just produce something new.
it was like I knew City.
Honestly.
I knew City were going to batter us, but to that extent, so it's like, come on, it's just always more painful. Someone said it's like an FBI experiment to see how much misery someone can endure without giving up. You know,
It's mad, isn't it? They've got Carlo Ancelotti, James Rodriguez. He finished 10th.
Everton. That.
Yeah. This one's from, I'm sorry if I butcher your name, Kamichi. What are some of the songs you've been listening to lately?
I'll get my playlist out, Kamichi.
I think I've butchered the name there, like.
Kimchi.
Oh, she always like comments on our stuff, Kimchi. Shout out Kimchi for always commenting on our stuff. Yeah, I'll get some of my playlist. What I've been listening to today. So today the tunes I've added. This guy called Cool Heat, Levitate. It's a pretty good song. Volare by Dean Martin. You know that one? Volare. I've just been watching The Sopranos too much recently, so I'll just keep cooking pasta and listening to like Italian American classics. And what else was worth shouting out on here? I found this band called Salt. Check them out if you like world music. How about you, Macca? The bass Macca?
To be honest, like I just seen the Primavera lineup today, so I've kind of just been listening to a load of bands I like off there. So like listening to Dive quite a bit, just a bit of Tame Impala, bit of Pavement. Yeah, check out that lineup.
What have you been listening to? That's the question I've got to ask.
Oh, lately.
Spin.
He's right, nice one.
Well, we're seeing John Powell in a few weeks at the Angus, so
real.
I'd listen to loads of Cash lately, I'd say, mainly.
I can't stop listening to Walk Away at the minute. I just love that song.
Anthem, isn't it?
Yeah, unbelievable song. I've literally never knew how to play it, and I've learned it a couple of days ago. I've just not stopped playing it. Unbelievable song.
The Lars as well. Always.
Yeah, unbelievable. Like,
well,
that
12,
album.
there's 11 or 12 songs that they've got.
yeah, I'm not gonna put it out there and say the number, but that 11 or 12 songs you got are pretty heavy.
Now this kind of brings us on nicely. Actually, Isaac Grover said favourite local bands.
Favourite local bands. I was big into the Courting EP.
Yeah.
Obviously, always got to rep Monks, Ask Elliot, Stone. There's too many at the minute. Everyone, like, the scene was like a bit dry for a bit. A couple of years ago, there weren't many bands coming through, and then all of a sudden, it's like all these kids have started bands and they're all boss. It's really, really good to see. Like, I'm made up with it. How about you, Mac? Anyone you into?
Yeah, same really. Courting, really good.
Harry Miller's new stuff's good as well.
Harry Miller, yeah, of course, like good friend of ours as well. Pixie as well, she's doing really well.
Yeah. How could we forget her?
Yeah, we like that. She did an EP, didn't she?
Yeah,
that's really good.
There's too many to pick now. It's mad. It's just like they're all pretty good though.
Yeah.
Where's your biggest fan base apart from like locally?
Probably down in London, they like us a lot, and then Japan, we've got a decent fan base as well. Obviously, like
How did that start, Japan? That's so random.
this guy called Rio, right? He runs our record. We're on a label. We're signed in Japan, which is mad.
Yeah.
And it's like he was just like emailed us like, I want to release an album of yours in Japan. Can we do it? And we like, yeah. So we were like we just wrote like a little EP. Sent it over, he was made up, and then he was like, what do you want to call it? So we just called it Yada. And like none of them got it over there. It was like this little joke inside between us. But yeah, he literally sent us an email, and we were like, sound. And then he was like, oh, by the way, there's an opportunity for you to play a gig here if you fancy it. I was like, yeah, let me think. Yeah, all right then, we'll play in Japan. And then we couldn't afford it, but the Liverpool Arts Council sorted us out, and it was the best thing. And we got to stop in Abu Dhabi for the day. We went to the beach. It was sick.
What's that?
Nice, yeah.
And the old guitarist, there's a photo of us out there somewhere. We were all not in our swimming trunks, like, and he's there in full track. He just couldn't be arsed with it.
Of 40 degrees.
Do you know, figure 3-track EP? Will there be any sort of like 7-inch vinyl release for that or anything?
I don't know.
There was talks of us maybe doing like a flying vinyl thing, maybe, but I'm not too sure. It's not like set in stone just yet.
Yeah,
I think
sure
we need
we'll
to throw another song on there, wouldn't we?
Yeah,
just like something from the archives.
Little shit demo we've got or something.
No, there's no shit spin demos. They're all masterpieces.
Do you throw many songs away type? Like,
yeah, loads. Like, how many did we write for the first album? We must have written.
It's in the 30s.
Yeah, 30 odd, 40 odd. And
the main reason why songs get sacked off is because like we'll have like, I don't know, 3 or 4 songs that like are very similar, have the same kind of colours to them, and we just kind of like pick the best out of that type of song. So we were like, oh, we've got like, I don't know, 4 slowish songs, but like July at a Glance for the first album, for instance, that was like the strongest, so we picked that, fill that gap in the album, because obviously everyone likes a slow one halfway through. And yeah,
so that's it for this one.
Similar.
The next one, we didn't. Well, we wrote loads last year, but like Andy, our guitarist, like left the band, so he took a bunch of the songs with him for his new band, which is fair enough because he wrote them. So we did have more, but then we basically just whittled it down to about 20 odd, and chose the best. Like,
we've been writing loads since as well. Like once Luke came in, it was kind of like a breath of fresh air as well. Obviously working with someone new.
Yeah,
and
new dynamic to like the writing processes.
Yeah, it kind of just gave us like a good kick up the arse, like where we need to write songs. So like we've been really productive like this last year, I'd say.
Would you say like creatively, like during this like whole COVID, like you haven't been like touring and nothing, like been more beneficial for you?
It's actually been weirdly a bit of a good thing, because it's like, I think if we would have released, because we were planning on releasing it last year, if we would have released that album, I don't think it would have been that good really. I think it was kind of rushed, and then it's kind of give us the opportunity to like take a bit more time, think about what we want to do, what sounds we want to explore, and just a weird positive to come from the whole situation is the fact that we've had that time to express ourselves.
Lots of work, like, but obviously outside of playing, Warzone and that with my mate Alex, I just try my best to, like, just make demos, and me and him will just meet up whenever we can outside of work and just crack on.
So often, especially when we were writing this album, fucking literally every single day. I think Christmas, Easter,
literally, yeah,
birthdays, parents' birthdays.
Yeah, I don't know.
Random curries with your granddad, and that's just as a friendship basis, and then we work together as well. So it's
you can't get it, I mean.
I do see you more than I see my girlfriend.
Where do you work?
We work together.
Finch Farm.
Do you?
Yeah. In the car park doing stewarding.
Basically, we stand there on the roundabout. The first team comes in, and I go, just park over there, please, mate. And they go, nice one, and that's it. £11 an hour, it's sweet.
You've never given them like a piece of your mind, like
Oh, Nancy's scared.
don't let them park, they deserve to park.
I'll be sending Delph to the furthest away from the door, mate.
You know what? Delphi is a proper nice fella.
Oh, that's made me feel bad, yeah.
He's so nice. He goes, oh, morning, mate, you're right. And he walks past you, so I'll give him that.
Next time you go to Leeds to record, you can take him with you.
Just jumps in a boot of Sean's Mini with us.
You had another question. Well, not a question. It's a request or an order. Do a gig on Camp Hill.
Do a gig on Camp Hill.
It's Harry Fox.
I'll do that, because we live right by Camp Hill, don't we?
See, right by your house.
Might have to be acoustic, but me and Johnny will sit on a
Where-
bench
where
and play
is
some
it?
tunes.
It's in Walton. We're two Walton boys, so it's,
Yeah.
it's basically just this big hill.
It's by Hunt's Cross,
You
yeah.
can see, I'm pretty sure you can see Runcorn from it, or something, something slightly rubbish looking in the distance. Sorry, any fans from Runcorn listening. But yeah, we'll play it. We're thinking about doing a little warm up show if we can, but just finding a venue. So maybe Camp Hill might be that venue. Just us playing on
Little show. Massive field.
Yeah, we'll fill it out.
Okay.
What's your like dream venue?
I don't know. I'd like to.
Echo Arena.
The arena. I don't know.
Goodison.
All I wanted was to do the arts club when we started. I just liked the name. It was called the East Village Arts Club at the time. I thought that sounds really cool. I want to play that. And everything after that, I'm just like, whatever, bigger, better. But like that, we played the arts club. That was my dream. We done it. So everything, onwards and upwards from your dream and keep building.
Any more questions?
Yeah, there's a few on Twitter. I can't get the names up, saying when he was playing Manchester. But I don't know whether that's been announced on the latest tour dates, has it?
It hasn't. That's a thing.
It said why aren't you playing Manchester?
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's just like one of like it's one of like the things on the management side. Like, we were kind of just want to do the Liverpool one, because like I feel like with a lot of bands these days, they'll either play Liverpool or Manchester. So it makes sense for us just to play like a big one in Liverpool, and
Imagine if we didn't play Liverpool,
down.
just got Manchester instead.
But like, I'm sure we'll come back to Manchester soon, whether it's like on a small tour next year or a little fezzy or something.
It's only a train journey for them anyway.
Like I've spent
And it's
so
right
much
by the
money on
ocean.
train tickets to Oxford Road. So
That's it. Yeah.
come to Liverpool, guys.
Another question we tend to ask is your top favourite 3 Liverpool songs from Liverpool artists.
So I was going to say I don't know any Liverpool songs because I'm an Everton fan. Let me think.
There she goes, probably.
Songs or albums? Songs.
We'll do both.
Walk Away, obviously.
Strawberry Fields Forever.
Bill Ryder Jones. He's from The Whittle. Does he count?
Yeah, we'll have him.
He's a
If
blues
he's
as
good,
well.
we'll have
So,
him,
Catherine and Huskisson. I don't know how to pronounce the second word. Always stuck in my head. Beautiful song. I spend my mornings. That's what he sings like.
I like Bring On the Dancing Horses by Echo and the Bunnymen.
I didn't even think of any 80s bands, to be fair.
Yeah.
Relax. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Like, how can we deny that? It's such a
I think
banger.
we've gone over 3, like, but we'll just chat shit from this point.
It's that one as well. Pure and simple every time. What's it called? Is it Pure? Pure and simple over you. Oh, who sings that?
I don't know.
The guy with the glasses.
John Lennon.
I can't remember his name. In fact, I forgot that. There's too many. A Day in the Life by the Beatles is probably my ultimate song of all time, I think.
Yeah, it's boss. Isn't it?
Unbelievable. It highlights both aspects of the Beatles, like Paul with his like little poppy bit, and then Lennon with his tortured soul, and then not to talk about Ringo with like the finest drumming performance on the whole Beatles catalogue, in my opinion. I think he's amazing on that.
You got any more questions before we finish up?
Yeah. You mentioned you supported Slow Readers Club before. Like in terms of bands you support, what do you say like your favourite is?
It's kind of weird with us. We never really got any support slots until recently.
Yeah.
Supported a band called Judas. They're now called Loner. They were like half Scouse. John Clancy. He's a really nice lad. He's the lead singer for them. We played with them. But they're not like a huge band. They just offered us it because they liked the band type of thing. We've done that. But other than that, I don't think we've played with anyone other than Slow Readers Club who's like a proper support slot. It's all just been like a graft basically. So
yeah, we supported this fella called Boy Pablo in London once.
Oh yeah,
and he was dead cool.
Yeah, we stole all his beers from the dressing room. He was like, "Hey,
say that.
You see my beers?" Oh, it's been 3 years. I'm sure he's over it. He's like, "You guys see my beers?" I was like, nah. Walked out, drank them all.
Typical Scousers.
Sorry, Pablo. Oh, that's a good tour story if you want one. Speaking about stealing beers, we were in Leicester, and like this bouncer goes to us. He found out we were Scousers, giving us stick all day. When we were leaving, he was like, "Oh, don't take the furniture with you." So we went, "Oh, we won't." So we just went downstairs and emptied the fridge from the bar and stuff all that. And he was like, "All right, mate, see you later, you fucking knobhead." Got off and must have walked down to an empty bar, like bottles of Jaeger and everything. Like, all fucking gone.
Is right.
We're going to get sued by unnamed venue in Leicester. Yeah.
We normally finish off with what's your favourite pint?
Oh,
Guinness.
Pint of Stella from the Gardeners, my local pub. Never feel more like at home than when I was one of them. So
Yeah, Guinness or Gamma Ray by Beavertown for me.
Hipster.
A lot of people say Guinness that have been on here. Most people, innit?
Yeah.
I mean, it probably is
Popular.
the best. I'd say if I was going anywhere other than the Gardeners, I'd get a Guinness. But there's something about the Gardeners Arms Stella that just it warms me cockles, you know.
I just can't stomach Guinness Milo, you know. Everyone proper loves it. I've tried it so many times, right? And I just
Not for you.
Thick, innit?
Yeah, it is. It's like soupy. You know what I mean?
oil.
Yeah. Just found some crude oil and put like a Shamrock logo on top.
It's heavy oil though. Get you fucked.
You gotta try it. Well, he was like that. You gotta try it in Dublin. The best Guinness is in Dublin. If you're ever in Dublin.
Yeah, I literally had my first pint of Guinness ever in Dublin. It was such a great experience. It was lovely.
Like his head went.
Yeah.
A new world.
We got on the ferry from like Holyhead, was it? From like, I don't know, like 6 a.m. or something. We all hadn't eaten. As soon as I got there, I was like, yeah, Guinness. Guinness for breakfast.
What's your favourite pint as well before?
I tend to go for like a Peroni.
Oh, classy.
But if you're at a pub and they have Corona on draft, which is quite rare,
Yeah.
I'll go for that any day.
I can't drink Corona, that's the one.
In the Angus.
Yeah,
That's
that's
nice. Shout out to the
getting some
Angus.
good publicity these.
Yeah.
Is that your local, yeah?
Nah, it's only round the corner from
me.
here.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Man's bro.
Go on, say yours, lad, properly, lad.
I'm nervous.
Do you know when you said you can't stomach Guinness? I just can't stomach beer.
Really?
I drink like, do you know, just apple cider.
Fair enough.
Not dark fruits and that. Do you know what I mean? Just like a nice
He loves dark
Magnus.
fruits, the little muppet.
I love dark
It's
fruits.
disgusting. No, to be fair, you can get a nice cider though. You
Like
can't.
like a Magnus
Refreshing, yeah.
or a Somersby. Yeah.
That's
nice in Ireland, you know.
Somersby.
That's nice in Ireland though, cider. It's better there as well.
I'll have to get on it. I used to drink cider loads, but like it's just more beers, isn't it, to choose from? I suppose.
Gives me heartburn, that's the one thing though. gotta get a sponsorship from Rennie's or something. Sort me out. All this heartburn I've been talking about.
Yeah, so thanks very much
Nice
for that,
one,
boys.
boys.
Nice one for having us
We hope
on,
you all
lads.
enjoyed it, and please like and subscribe. Thanks very much.
Bye.